Guys, welcome to the macro guide. Listen, this is gonna be, well, it's gonna be kind of a, how can I say, we're gonna explain some of the different laning phases. We're gonna watch a couple of minutes of like couple of different laning phases. I'm gonna time them in the description, so if you guys want to skip some or just watch one specific one, look at the description. It's gonna be like melee matchup or like, you know, hard matchup, easy matchup and stuff like that. And we're gonna just talk about some of the different tactics and stuff you want to do in this matchup or in this situation. So it's gonna be a little bit of macro, a little bit of laning, a little bit of how to control the wave, so a little bit of lane management. I'm gonna just try to look at a couple of my replays. We're gonna look at some of the better players. I wanted to watch Balajan, but we all know Balajan, he doesn't really play a lot of Malz, and it's a new patch right now. He hasn't really played a lot of ranked lately, so we're gonna watch some other Malzahar players, and when we watch some of the mistakes, it's gonna be a lot of gold players, because in my opinion, I feel like everyone usually gets stuck at gold, because gold is one of the most common elos in League of Legends. A lot of people struggle to climb out of it or climb to it, so we're just gonna watch some mistakes. So in this melee matchup, mostly what you want to do is, I see a lot of people complain about the Yasuo matchup. First of all, as you can see, I'm not walking up and basic attacking the minions. Why? Because we don't want to shove this wave early game. Because if we shove this wave in and he hits, like, he's gonna hit 2 probably here, or if we shove it in, he's gonna hit 2 first because minions are gonna die to the turret, whatever, or we're gonna hit 2 at the first time. But if we slow push this, so if I try to basic attack and he doesn't, okay, so I'm gonna slow push it because my minions are gonna kill and I help with basic attacking. We're gonna get closer and closer to his turret, and if, let's say, the wave freezes or he shoves, like, kind of freezes it with pulling it. So pulling means he tanks the minions and drags them, so like he waits for next wave and then yada yada yada. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm gonna show you guys in the games. So if I do that and Yasuo hits 2, then I'm in a very bad position because he can use dash through minions and kind of basic attack us. So that's why, as you can see, I'm not basic attack the minions till he does. I'm just trying to match him and try to poke him down while I'm like, we are at it. So as you can see, I'm just kind of basic attacking. I'm not trying to shove the wave. I'm not taking minions for, like, I'm not trying to push in the wave. I'm just chilling right now. This is perfect against the melee matchup. Works against most of the melees. Again, Zeds can WQE and try to engage on you, so it's a little bit harder. But if he misses it, then you can still play this kind of a tactic, or this is usually how I play the melee matchups. Joan works like the same. You just have to be careful from his tornado and E. So look at this wave. Pretty much perfect for our Yasuo right now. We're sitting close to a turret, we're not shoving, we're poking him down, we're not trying to shove the minions, kind of chilling, farming. Very safe lane if you can do this, because again, you will never be in a death position. And as Malz, I see a lot of people walk up and E the minion level 1. Don't do it, because then the enemy has a free time to, like, go on you. As you can see, I haven't used a single spell except a Q on the minion. I'm just trying to E him when he walks up. I'm not trying to chase him down. I'm just standing here. When he walks up, I E, basic attack the minions. Pretty much how I usually play all my Yasuo lanes. That's why I usually don't have any issues with Yasuo anymore. You're gonna see me shove here. I'm gonna explain why. Because as you can see, my jungler here, he is looking to contest top scuttle. And Yasuo is, well, he's lower HP and stuff like that, so usually junglers do contest the scuttles. So I want to shove in here to try to help him if there's a fight in there. I don't think this is good, because usually I don't think we win 2 versus 2s because this guy has ignite. But if we can get the wave shoved in here, maybe we can, because Yasuo will be late. So that's why I'm looking to kind of shove this in. And this is the first time I'm going to use my spells on the wave, trying to shove it in. And Yasuo doesn't really contest it, he's just letting me do it. So this is kind of fine. I break my shield there, not good. I go and ward here just to see if he goes for the bot scuttle, to make sure he goes for the top. And Yasuo tanks the wave. We don't move because, yeah, we're kind of late to it. And now Yasuo is also late for it. And Jax helps instead because Jax got the wave shoved in. So this works for us. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stop it here. This is probably the end of the melee matchup. So as you saw, we could have kept this freeze for however long we wanted if Yasuo didn't commit for it, and if it did, he would probably get poked down in the like, if it gets too crazy and tries to push it in and we poke him down, well, then we can just free shove it because he can't contest the next wave. So it is a good kind of technique or tactic to freeze. If you guys didn't see it, again, just go back and watch it. We don't go forward and basic attack the minions. We don't want to basic attack and chase down the Yasuo, because if we do that as well, the minions are going to focus us, and when the minions focus us, our minions kills his minions, and we kind of push the wave. We don't want to do that. We just want to basic attack or E him when he walks forward and tries to last hit. So go back, watch it again. Hopefully this was good explanation. If it wasn't, comment down below and we might do a in-depth tutorial of the melee matchups. So let's go on to the next one. So this one, well, I'm gonna call this kind of a free Malzahar lane, even though it's a range one. So we're facing a Vix. Against the Vix, it should be hard to contest the waves early, but you're gonna see why I call this a free lane. Because what is this? Let's do like that. Why I'm gonna listen. So here it's a different. You can already see the difference between a ranged and a melee. So we already go forward, basic attack the minion because she is. We don't want to get free shoved in. We want to at least try to contest the wave as much as we can without using spells, because we can't really do anything level 1. She can with Q if she wants to, but she doesn't as well. So if she was gonna use spells, then we would just let her for free. And we don't try to contest it. We used to let her push in and we try to CS on the turret. This is why most of the Malzahar like me have some issues farming on the turret, especially when you mistime them and stuff like that. So as you can see, she's basic attacking. We are as well. We're not trying to contest the wave. We're just trying to farm here. We don't walk forward and E or whatever. Again, because it's not a melee, we don't want to trade right now. We just want to look forward to CSing. But you're gonna see a big difference. So already you can see she has stopped basic attacking the ranged ones. I'm not sure if it's because she's scared to trade or if she's just letting me. But if she does, you take it, because again, if you can level up and have a wave pushing towards her, you can look for a sheer recall. Sheer recall is when you crash like a huge wave on the turret and you know, or she doesn't have the damage enough to kind of shove it back enough, so you can reset and just walk back to lane without even losing a minion. I don't think, I'm not sure if I do this game, we're gonna see. But that's one of the other tactics you can do. Shoving, especially you want to look forward to doing the third wave. And if you can shove the third wave pretty freely, then, or a big wave, then you can do a sheer recall. So as you can see, look at my mini wave, it's already getting pretty big, missing a Q there, kind of winging it, not really necessary. We could have gone EW here, but still I'm trying to expect her to use spells on the wave. She doesn't. We're missing some CS. You should be CSing better than me. I'm kind of trolling a little bit, still trying to poke her down a little bit with my I'm not sure why this is not tracking, but trying to poke her down, not really necessary here. Again, the wave is kind of, well, it's kind of shoving into her a little bit, but it's, again, look how free this is. We are still farming. We haven't lost any HP. She's just letting us free kind of scale, I would say, because if you don't abuse Malzahar's weak early game, how can you abuse his kind of a mid game and late? Because then it will be easier to spawn voidlings and E and stuff like that. So now, again, you can see we're trying to shove this wave, or not shove, but kind of slow shove it, and just keep it here pretty much until we want a hard shove and reset. This is another tactic I'm going to show you here. Let me see if she does it. So as you can see, my wave is here, yeah? And what I usually do, this is what I always do, except if it's not an RE or something that can charm. I usually stand next to my wave. So why I do that is, if do you guys see my wave? So if she decides to go for me with her spells, like she's trying to E and probably gonna Q me here too, yeah, and she's gonna try to aim for me, yeah, that means she misses the spells on the wave. So what can we do here? We can use spawn EW and Q, shove it in for free because she doesn't have the wave to kind of kill our voidlings or contest the shove, and we can reset. I usually do this against Xerath, because Xerath as well, if they Q, we're trying to juke it up and down. You pretty much choose down, because if you walk up, he hits the wave, and they usually do. So you always want to try to stand here and then juke down. Again, if he hits down, well, either you're fast enough to kind of walk back up into the middle, or yeah, you get hit. But still, it's better to, if you're full HP especially, it's good to take a free Xerath Q and then just free shove the wave, because if he uses WQ on you, again, he doesn't have enough pushing power to push the wave, and you can reset for free. I'm not sure if I do this here. I don't think so. Let's see what I do. I do it now. I should have done this faster, but do you guys see the wave? Look how big it is. And now we can just reset if we want to. I'm not gonna do it here because I don't really need to, and I don't have enough gold for anything. My mana is pretty good. But do you guys see the difference between a ranged and a melee matchup? Especially, this is what I call free, because they, in my opinion, Vex played this wrong. If you are in, well, gold, silver, people usually doesn't aim for, like, they don't aim for the wave. They usually aim for you, especially if you stand outside of it. But this, well, you need to have good dodging or reaction skills. If you get hit with a lot of spells, well, then maybe don't try this. Just play it safe and stand behind the minions. But if you are confident in juking and like just dodging, then you can do this tactic where you stand outside the beside the mini wave. People usually go forward and basic attack the minion, and that's when they get hit. So again, try to be more alert on that. And yeah, I mean, try it. If it doesn't work, go back to standing behind the minions against, like, well, Aries and stuff. It's hard. If you have shield, you can kind of try to contest the Q there. But if she hits you with one Q, then yeah, back beside the minions. But yeah, let's go to the next video. This is gonna be kind of a harder range matchup where we in a worse situation. So let's jump into that video, and hopefully this was explained, well, kind of how to slow push. As you can see, my waves were slow pushing. So slow pushes is when you have more minions, but you're kind of not, again, fast pushing it with your spells. You kind of use basic attack and then keeping the wave, and just kind of building a big wave. And if she doesn't try to use spells on it, well, fine. But if she does, she loses mana, and you don't have to, because you don't have to shove it in, because your waves are shoving in. So she uses mana here. If she wastes mana, you're gonna be healthier in mana. I'm not, because I tried to poke her down with Q. But if we wanna play this, if we wanna call it a perfect gameplay, then yeah, we would have played it a little bit differently. But this is just kind of a, I'm gonna call this a free lane. So let's just jump to the next one and see how that one goes. So in this matchup, we're gonna see my good old buddy Overuse. He's a Malzahar main as well. Is Master Elo. So this is a Master Vex, not as, you know, just not as bad as the Vex I faced, but we're gonna see the difference in a good player. Even though this guy, he's also Malzahar main, very good Malzahar player, but it's just in some matchups, again, even though like there's just some limits Malzahar has that some champions doesn't. So Vex, you're just gonna see the difference here, how this Vex plays. And if you didn't see the one I face, you can just watch it. As you can see, they are kind of basic attacking minions together, like me and Vex did at the beginning. But the difference here is, like, look at this Vex. My Vex, she stood here and didn't want to walk forward. This one, like, they're contesting. If you basic attack this, she's gonna come, like, she's gonna fight you. Look at her. She's playing aggro. This is how you should play against Malzahar. You should be a little bit more aggro. She takes the E here. Doesn't want to keep the trade, but she goes back in, landing her E here. And Malzahar does have a very long cooldown on her E. On his E, so he's not going to be able to trade back. And she has Electrocute as well. I'm not sure if that, I don't think she procced it, interestingly enough. But yeah, already you can see a lot more fights. She lands that, lands the Q, gets him very low, and now he has to kind of sack the wave and let it crash to him. It's just sometimes this is the way it goes. If you lose too much HP early game, you get in the situation where you have to kind of sack minions. But this is where most Malzahar players die, because he knows he can't walk forward right now. He's gonna wait for the wave, trying to get these with probably Q. A lot of Malzahar players would walk up here and try to either trade or go and try to basic attack the minion. Don't do it. Just give it up. It's not worth it. He's gonna Q it here, but look how much poke he gets. Gets Electrocute procced, and now he's in a very, very troubling position because she has Ignite. But this is gonna, I mean, this is also a good strat with Malz to go TP. So if this happens to you, Overuse is gonna play this good. We're gonna watch it. But if this happens to you, TP is very good in these scenarios, because if you get shunned down, you can try to get the last bits of minions you can, recall and TP back, because Ignite is strong in lane. But if you can kind of survive the early game, then it's gonna be probably in your favor. later on. So all you have to do if you face an igniter, don't die. If you get very chunked, recall and TP back. So yeah, look at Vex kind of slow pushing this wave in, getting it crashed on the turret. He's probably gonna look for poke. This is also a very troubling position for Malz. Without shield and getting kind of low, she goes for a shield and then trying to goes for all in here. Malzahar flashes the Q, survives it, and then he's gonna reset and TP back. So this is why a TP is very good here. They both, well, he burns his summoners here, but he survives the kind of hard part of the early game, which I would say is 1 to 3. Or yeah, I would say 1 to 3, because now you have more damage in your kit. Again, without Lost Chapter, you can't like free use spells, but look at it. Look at Vex. She has 0 mana. She doesn't have TP. She's gonna have to be forced to stay here, try to get the shoved. Malzahar is gonna come back and TP in, and he's gonna be full HP, full mana. So he's gonna dictate the laning. So here, in my opinion, the worst case scenario is if he gets ganked here when he TPs in. But even though it looks very bad, but it's gonna be balanced out because of the TP. So this is why I usually recommend TP, even if you're a lower elo. People say, well, should I take Ignite or TP? I always say take TP, because most of the people, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because people usually take TP, don't know how to use it. And people take Ignite, they might get some kills, but they don't have the TP pressure, if that makes sense. Or if they lose lane early, their Ignite is literally useless, because you're never going to be in a position where you're going to one-shot or kill your enemy laner. So it all depends on how well you use your TP, but I would usually recommend TP just because of this. If you kind of misplay or get kind of chunked, you can always get back into the laning and scaling if you have TP and don't die. Like if he died, yes, it would have been very bad, because then Vex would have been she probably would have time to maybe shove the wave in, or at least kill and then reset and walk back already. But she didn't get the kill, so he kind of survives the laning phase. Already, if you haven't seen the earlier, I'm gonna call it the free lane. This is a hard lane, so it's still the same champion, but you can see how it differs from player to player. The Vex here is much better. Of course, Master Elo people are better, and they usually know Malzahar's weakness is the early game, so they're gonna try to abuse it as well as they can. Again, go watch back the other video I faced the Vex, how bad she played it. She just kind of respected us too much. This Vex, she didn't give a single, I'm not gonna say it, but you guys know what I mean. And she has Ignite advantage, so she's stronger in the 1v1, and she was getting good trades off, so she was going for a more aggro type of playstyle, while the Vex I played literally didn't do anything. She missed her spells, I got the free wave, and kind of just got my free standing. So this is just, I wanted to show you 3 different lanings. Hopefully it was somewhat interesting. Again, if you didn't understand, comment, and I might do another one and we can go through it a little bit better. I mean, hopefully you guys know what slow pushing, freezing, and just overall fast pushing. I hope you guys know what that is. If you don't know, maybe we'll make a guide on that. But let's jump into some gold replays, and we're gonna watch some mistakes and some macro mistakes, some laning mistakes as well. But yeah, let's go into that, and yeah, let's just go. So in this game, we're gonna watch Mob Barley. This guy has a 1.2k Malzahar games, gold 4 player. We're just gonna watch some of his kind of laning mistakes here. It's gonna be a few of them, and I hope you guys see the reasoning. So here, I would say this is not bad. Not sure why he didn't E him, but what I've learned as a Malzahar player in my, well, a couple of 100 games, if they have a corruption potion, it's kind of not worth trying to wasting mana on the champ. They're always gonna heal back up, but this is fine. Okay, this is not the worst. I would say focus on minions here are better. You could play the matchup as I did against the Yasuo, the melee matchup tactic, which is just trying to freeze it. He kind of does until now. He goes for a shove, which is not gonna crash because he kind of did it too late, but he's building a big wave. But this is the issue here. Against champions like Echo, against champions like Joan, who has a very strong level 2 power spike when they can use engage and trade back, you're gonna see what I'm talking about right now. So as you can see, the wave is very close to Echo's turret. He's in no death position. He's pretty safe. Malzahar can't really do anything here, except kind of walk too far up without a shield. Hits level 2 first, which is fine. He should, this is another issue, he should be perma attacking the minions, or else he's just gonna keep the lane here. So what he should try to do, if he's committing to it, just hard shove it. I'm not sure why this guy pushed the first couple of minions and then now suddenly doesn't even attack them anymore. He should be trying to perma attack them to get them low and kill them every time. Now look at this, is what I'm talking about. So look how far up he is. Echo has a free engage, he has ignite, so he's always gonna win the 1 versus 1. He can just chase you down to your turret pretty much and basic attack you. You can't really do much about it. You could always try to trade back, but then again, corruption potion, you would always lose in the sustain department. And he is getting low. Still didn't use the EW on him. I guess he's saving it for the wave, but again, taking too long of a time. Echo tries to go back in. He still has an EW. Not sure if he's panicking or if he's stressing, but look at where we're at now. So he's very low, can't really go forward because Echo is just always gonna perma engage on him. And look at the wave, look at where he is, in a very bad spot. So he kind of already misplayed, and now it's going to get worse because he's missing CS here. Echo has a wave to him, he's healthier, he has 2 corruption stacks, he has ignite, flash, everything. If this was me, I would E flash and Q probably and he would be dead. So let's see how this goes. I haven't watched this, but I think he's gonna die. Now he uses EW finally on the wave. Echo kind of misplayed. In my opinion, Echo should have just killed the Voidling's insta. And Malzahar would have been in an even worse state, but he kind of semi-managed to get the wave a little bit pushed. Flash is there. I would say it's a decent flash. Echo has no corruption potion stacks left. Tries to get this wave. A little bit crashed, I suppose. Stops the recall. And we're back to it. So, again, this matchup isn't that hard early. Echo kind of inset here. Again, it is gold against the gold, so both of them kind of misplays. But do you guys see the issues here? A lot of issues. If this happens to you, again, he gets away with it because he's facing a player that's in his, what can I say, skill level. But if you were a better, if you could play Mouse better, this should never happen. Like, you should never be in this position where you're getting chunked and you're getting literally frozen on a level 2. It all happened because he misplayed the early game. Yes, he has ignite TP, so he can always TP back here, and Echo kind of loses here. But again, if he played it better and he just froze it and then just kind of went on him as soon as he EW'd. So this is, let me show you where he should literally go all in. So this is where he should just literally freeze a wave after this trade. Chunk down the corruption potion. This guy is not chunking it down. He's kind of late, so he should be eating them already. He should be walking upwards. Like, he should be running towards Malzahar right now. He's running backwards. This is kind of his misplay. He has his spells up in literally 1 second. He should be watching that. Walk forward. When Malzahar EWs a wave, you literally E and ignite and he's dead. So both kind of misplays. He should be getting the kill here. Malzahar should be dead. This should never be allowed. But Echo kind of misplays. But do you guys see what I mean with the bad laning? So he kind of misplayed from level 1, literally. And Echo should have had literally a free kill. But this is just, again, kind of some laning tips. I'm not sure if this is helping, but I hope it does. Hope you can see some of the mistakes maybe you do in game and be like, oh, I never thought of that. And maybe kind of watch your games and see if you do one of these mistakes, or maybe you should try to adapt to one of these styles. Again, if you didn't kind of get what you wanted from these videos, comment, and I could try to make another one and we could go through them a little bit more in depth. But let's go into some macro mistakes, and we're gonna start this quiz. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it in the next clip. Just keep watching. Okay, welcome to the macro quiz. Listen, we're gonna go through some macro quiz. So macro quiz is, I'm gonna give you 2 options. What would you have done? And you're gonna type like question 1 or quiz 1 and then type your answer before watching this kind of, you know, how the scenario plays out. I want you to watch and type it down, and I'm gonna give you a couple of scenarios, so just wait before you comment and then write them all. Don't change your answer, don't cheat, and then tell me what you would have done. So let me give you this example. So Yasuo and Malzahar just died. They both traded kills. Yasuo does not have ignite, or he doesn't have TP, so he can't go back to lane. Malzahar does have TP, it doesn't show because it's bugged. His teleport is up. Would you teleport to lane in this scenario? Yes or no? Or would you just kind of run back? Just type yes or no because it's easier. Would you TP here or would you save it? Type it down. I mean, type it, but don't comment just yet because we're going to go through the quiz. Pause this video, type it, and then keep on watching because we're going to explain we're going to watch what it does, and I'm going to explain why I wouldn't or why I would. Okay? So let's just watch how it is play out. So, as we can see, the lane is kinda slow pushing into Yasuo here. So, he's gonna miss a couple of minions if he doesn't TP in. But if he does TP in, he doesn't have TP for a setup play. So, I would choose not to TP here, and I would rather choose to miss a couple of minions. He does TP in here, which is, I mean, this is also why I usually say, it really depends on why you take TP. Do you take TP to just survive your laning? I mean, why not go ignite? Because in lower elos, people usually don't know how to abuse, how can I say, lower elo plays or whatever. People usually just trade and they make a lot of mistakes and people can't capitalize because they don't know how to. So TP is kind of a way for people to survive their bad laning and then use TP back to kind of save their laning. You know what I mean? For me, I take TP to make plays. I don't really take TP to TP back to lane. If I do TP back to lane, I have misplayed or the enemy played well. Usually, I don't kind of do it to repair my mistakes mostly. So if TP is back to lane, I wouldn't. But again, this is kind of depending on. But I would say this is a bad macro because now you can't really do anything top, you can't do anything bot, you're just gonna stay mid here or roam with your, well, you gotta first shove, but there's nothing you can do here pretty much. So bot wave, I mean bot lane, they reset it, nothing to do. They're probably gonna reset her as well or stay, but even if you can do something about it right now because you TP'd in and get the first shove, what can you do here? Walk bot and do what? There's no one there. The wave is crashing into the turret. You really don't know where the jungler is. So there's nothing you can do. Top, he's literally taking Gromp. Your jungler is on red. Nothing to contest. So you literally wasted TP for nothing to get a couple of minions shoved in. He's going to get the plate, fair to him. But in my opinion, not worth. You could have probably gotten this plate anyways. Because of either the wave gonna crash into him and it's gonna slow push and you can push it back and you can take the plate because again you kind of trading with Yasuo. I would not have TP'd in. If you guys said I would, well, hey, what can I say? Let's jump into the next, and this is gonna be another quiz, so don't type your answers yet. It's gonna be a couple of quizzes, so keep your answers and we're gonna, well, hopefully let's see how many correct or kind of similar calls you would have made. Okay, quiz question number 2. So, your team just got Drake. You have killed the enemy mid laner and the enemy support. You do have TP, even though it looks like you don't because it's bugged. It's a visual bug, but he does have TP on the Malzahar. What do you do here? Do you go bot or do you go mid? You have to be instant, guys. What do you do? Type it. Don't watch the video. Pause it. Just comment. What do you do? Do you go bot or do you go mid? So, the correct answer is you go bot and you either spam ping your K to go mid or type her to go mid because if you guys don't know the reason, I mean, I hope you do, it's because you have TP. So, I watched the whole video of this guy. He literally didn't move from mid. He had TP up. She never went to side lane. So, you can see the side lanes are in a kind of a awkward spot. So, this one is slow pushing to them. As you can see, they have more minions, so the more minions you have, the faster you're gonna kill the wave. So this, you're gonna kind of crash the turret if no one catches this. Cyan might when he respawns. He might take it when he recalls. But Caitlyn going bot here, I mean, even if she goes top, it's better because Malzahar is closer to bot. He should be going bot. Either Kate goes mid, Cyan recalls go top and catches this, or Caitlyn goes top instantly from recalling or dying or whatever she did. And Cyan goes mid. But when you have TP, try to use it efficiently. Like if you have TP and you see your AD carry going bots, let's just pretend every member is alive here. And let's say their AD carry is in here or whatever, it base or a top, whatever. You see someone top, you can literally 4 versus 4 mid and you TP in with Malzahar because you will have that advantage. But if you go mid and Caitlyn goes bot, what is Caitlyn gonna do if there's a fight breaking out? She can't TP, she can't be there. She's never gonna be, like, even if she's here, she's never gonna be able to walk up fast enough for the fight. But if you're here, let's say you are here, 4 of your members are here, enemy members 4 are here, and then 1 is top and he doesn't have TP. Let's say it's Jasso, he split pushes, whatever, and he's alive. Well, you could always look for a TP on a minion or whatever, hopefully maybe a flank like here, and you can TP in and join the fight 5 versus 4. So a lot of Malzahar mistakes I see is because they have TP or they have ignites and he's perma grouping mid because hey, you picked mid lane, right? So mid lane is your lane. You're never gonna leave mid. That is the typical, well, typical kind of, I'm not gonna be rude here, but low elo mentality. They pick a lane, they're just gonna keep going there until the game ends. They're never gonna go side lane. You could even go top here, recall and go top. Maybe Sion goes bot because Sion doesn't have TP. Whatever you wanna do, you could. I would probably call my team to go push bot here or whatever, and you could either go mid and pretty much do the same. So you're solo mid, 4 people bot, and you can TP in, or your team goes mid or whatever and you go top. Yes, a lot of options here, except Malzahar going mid. That's probably the I would say if he goes solo mid, yes. But look at his team. Everyone is running where? Literally they're running to defend this turret. You don't really have to send 5 or 3 people mid because there's just 2 people alive. He spawns Herald, they're gonna defend it anyways. You don't really need 3 people and the rest of the team is dead. So there's no really need to be here and share the XP. Like look at this wave. Look at this wave just dying out. Like look. No one is gonna catch this too. Like this is what I hate with low reload people. No TP. Look at how much XP and gold you missed. Pretty much 60, 80, 100. Almost a kill of gold and XP, and you're gonna miss this as well because it's gonna be able to keep up and crash. You literally missed a kill and free XP for what? Literally running around doing nothing. Oh, you died. GG, well played. FF, go next. You're literally gold. So this was a, quiz 2. Type down below what you would have done. Go mid or bots. Don't cheat. Let's jump to the next one. Okay, question number 3. So we can see that our team, or his team, literally just took. Well, they're gonna take inhibitor, as we can see. The inhibitor is gonna fall. We see 2 players mid, our bot getting a kill, so this is going well. Everything is going well. But my question is, do we TP top for this wave, which is, well, it's kind of a cannon wave. 5 minions in total. Do we TP or do we run back top? There's a ward right there. Or what do you guys do? Do you TP here or do you just run back? Type it down below. I want you. I spoke highly about minions in the last clip. So type down below what do you guys do here, and if you can explain it as well, your reasoning, and yeah, do you TP or run back? Why do I even pause? You should pause the video. Anyways, so if you pause the video and type your answer, this is the answer I'm gonna give you. First of all, let's just show what he did. So he TP'd in. Yeah, he TP'd in. So I want to say, I don't really care about how the fight goes or whatever goes, because again, it's a misplay from this guy. He should never be here after pushing the wave. Why this is bad? So you got the mid inhibitor. Okay, the mid inhibitor is about to fall. No one can defend it. Whatever. So you're gonna get super minions mid very early in the game. If you get inhibitor early in the game, you have to play the macro good to kind of close the game, because if you don't close the game, if you misplay and you keep grouping and they keep defending whatever, they're just gonna scale uber hard with the super minions. So what does super minions mid mean? Well, they have to have someone defending mid, and let's say you have inhib as Malzahar and you are 4 people bot, Malzahar goes top, you have super minions mid. Someone, let's just pretend someone defends against the Malz. Let's just say, well, they have a lot of TPs. Let's just say Veigar, whatever. Someone defends it. Someone defends mid. Then you can have 4 people bot. 4 versus 3, potentially 4 versus 5 if you TP in. Yes, he could always run from mid to bot, but then hopefully you wait out the waves until it's a super wave. So if this guy comes bot and makes it 5 versus 5, you're gonna have super minions crashing into the turret. Do you guys see the thought process? It's a chain of effect. But now he doesn't have TP. Let's say he splits top and he faces someone with TP and they fight bots. Yes, he might get a turret if this guy TPs in, but that's a lost fight. And what does that mean? More stalling. What does that mean? More free waves mid for the enemy. This is number one reason I see a lot of people throw games when they take inhibs early. This is why even in high elo people don't take inhib early, because a lot of mistakes can happen in the game. So if you take inhib, you have to play the macro correctly. Don't use your TP like this. If you use TP like this, don't go TP. Like, just don't. Take Ignite instead, because you're literally going to TP in. Yes, again, listen. Last video, I said, look how many minutes they missed. But that's because it's free waves. It was here. It's very close. And he had inhib up as well. It was like 2 or 3 stacking waves. This is one wave. It's fine. You save your TP here. Use your brain. There's nothing to fight for. Again, in this clip, there's nothing to fight for. But again, you have to keep your macro good to close out the game, because you used to mid inhib, free waves, free farm for enemy team, free leveling. So you have to close out the game as fast as possible, or take another inhib so you can pressure Nash or whatever, or pressure the last inhib and end out the game. You're just kind of splitting up the enemy team. But this is why you should, again, if you can't use TP, watch games where people play with TP and try to understand why they save TP in some scenarios. Like, why don't they TP for 2 minions? It's a reason behind that, you know, either to impact the map or impact the game. So yeah, hopefully you guys asked correct and said walk back to lane. If you didn't, well, we're gonna have an issue at TwitchCon. Let's just jump into another clip and yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna give you 4 options here. Choose the one you would do. So your team literally just want to fight. Everyone is healthy though, so they go for Nash. Okay, your team is healthy, they're going for Nash. Twitch died and respawned. He's running down mid. You died and you are at base right now. You do have TP up. You see the enemy team, they can't really contest the Nash here. What do you do? I'm gonna give you 4-way options. The first one is you run top, you start taking this. B, you teleport for Nash. You teleport for Nash. C, you run down mid. Or D, you run down bot. Choose wisely. Comment. Don't cheat. Don't go forward and watch what I say. We're gonna watch what he does and then explain it. So choose and yeah, pause the video. Okay, but wait, why am I pausing? You guys are supposed to pause the video. Never mind. Okay, so let's just watch what he does first before we explain it. Let's see. Okay, looks like he's running down mid. So why is this bad? Let me explain to you real quick why you should never run mid in this scenario, guys. First of all, the wave, the inhib is down. Okay, if you get Nash here, yes, you could pressure the open inhib, but why would you? Because you're already having a lead. You do have a Drake spawning. It's your Infernal Soul Point. So I myself would choose to go top here. First of all, you have TP. Your team is taking Nash. Even if you're a solo here, when their team is recalling or respawning, they will be first at Drake. So you can't really sit here and defend by yourself. Twitch is at Raptors, which is a little bit awkward. But anyways, even if you were going bot here, as I said, I would say top or going bot is the best scenario right now. Top, again, you can push this in. Try to split push this as much as you can. And hopefully your team takes the Nash. Let's see, they're gonna take this. So they're taking this. You do have a ward here. You saw Seraphine. They're trying to contest the vision at Drake. So you know what they are, Drake side. You should never be trying to contest the Drake right now. But imagine if you were here. So you're right now at mid. But imagine if you were here catching this, pushing this in. Someone would be either pinging to defend top. But even if they don't, like, you can push this in. Your team is about to recall. They have gold to spend. Let's just see what happens. So this guy randomly face shakes when his team literally got Nash. And look who's defending, a Fiora without TP. You should be here. Fiora should be recalling or running to Drake. Your team should be all recalling and running to Drake. They didn't. They took the Nash. One did. This is also one of the macro mistakes in gold. Even if this wasn't you, this is a mistake. So you have to decide as a team. This is why it's a team game. Even if you have bad macro, tell them, like, don't. So Drake is not about spawn. They could, this guy could recall and she could recall. Ashe did the correct call here. Recalling, spending her gold, or running to Drake. Nasus should have done the same. Fiora should have done the same. Who has the biggest brain? Ashe. Listen to Ashe shot calling. So if you notice a guy playing well and has the correct plays, listen to her or him, whatever, and just try to follow the calls. You should have, everyone should be recalling. Malzahar should have been topside. And they should be, well, running out to Drake. Again, it's not spawning yet. It's a Fenrisol, but it's not spawning. She can't join the fight. She's too far away. They are coming, so it's literally 3 versus 3 right now because Ashe isn't there, Fiora isn't there. What happens? They get caught out and they die and they lose the Drake. So, one mistake leads to another. If you were the Malzahar here and you, again, had better macro understanding and acknowledgement than your teammates, you should be running top and telling them to recall and run to Drake. I mean, that's what I do. If you guys watch my games, I usually be like, I back ping them or tell them to like recall or go Nash, whatever. I usually type stuff instantly, or try to at least. What I see is correct. But some games I don't, because I notice, let's say I have a jungler that plays very well and he shot calls telling us to do this, even though this is also one of the reasons why people do mistakes because of others, because they listen to someone and it goes wrong and they be like, it's his fault. But in his mind, he was maybe, well, expecting something else, or maybe he was seeing something else that you just followed and it didn't work that way. But still, so this is, again, even if this didn't happen, let's say nothing of this happens, they don't face check, it's still wrong for him to go mid here. He should be top. You should always be the opposite of the objective you're gonna play for next. So let's say they were running to Nash here, then you should be bot splitting and TPing. You could be potentially TPing in. But if they're going for Drake, you should be top, potentially looking for a TP play. If your team is going mid, then you should be, depending on whatever you want to be, depending on how the wave looks. But if they go all top, you go all bot. If they go all bot, you go all top. You know what I mean? Use your TP, guys. If you play TP Malz, know how to use it. If you don't know how to use TP, go Ignite, go Exhaust, go Barrier, go Ghost, even if you want to. But if you don't know how to use your TP, I swear, this guy, I have watched a lot of his games, Bob Marley. I'm not sure if this guy is watching my videos, but my friend, TP is not for you. I don't want to flame, but listen, your TP usement has been poor. I have watched a lot of your games. You have 1,200 games on Malzahar. You play more Malz than I have, but your usement of TP is not good. Hopefully you guys got this correct. I mean, if you guys typed mids, I'm gonna give you a B-. If you type bot, I'm gonna give you A. If you typed TP to Nash, I'm gonna ban you. Anyways, let's just go to the next one. Okay, this is probably gonna be the last one. So you guys got a second lifeline here. So what do? I'm gonna give you a 4-way split. This is right after the Drake fight. They just lost Drake. Malzahar just recalled or respawned. They still have Nash on. While wait, how many members do they have Nash on? Does Nasus have it? No. So 2 members have Nash here, Fiora and Ashe. You guys, well, Fiora is probably just clearing the waves till they respawn, which is good. That's what you should do. You should never try to force something when your allies are dead. So she's clearing waves. That's good. Ashe is mid, waiting for, well, respawns. What do you do as Malzahar right here? You have TP still. Don't forget that. Now, Fiora also has TP. What do? You TP mid. Again, if you got... Never mind. Do you TP mid? That's A, okay? A, TP mid. B, do you run top? Don't TP, you just run top. You C, you run mid. You don't TP mid, but you run down mid. Or D, you run down bot. Type your question or answers before watching. Pause the video. think about it. Look at the map. Look where, well, can we see this? Can we close Fog of War? Maybe that helps you guys. Okay, we see this. So this is what we see. We really don't see anything. We have a ward here, so they're not mid lane right now. They're not bot lane. They're not top lane. We have a ward here as well. What are you doing? A, TP mid. B, run top. C, run mid. Or D, run bot. Wait, B, run... Wait. A, TP mid. B, run top. C, run mid. D, run bot. Type your answers below. Answered? Good job, guys. Okay, let's just watch what this guy does first. Hello? Okay, that's a visual bug. Anyways, he ran down mid. So, why is this bad? Well, first of all, this is bad macro, guys. Even if we don't see an enemy, we know they have Nash. We know Fiora is close to bot. We see Nasus. First of all, Nasus should be mid. Fiora should be pathing bot. You should be running top here. You should be running top and you should be trying to push this wave in because, again, bot, look at bot. Look how far up it is and it's kind of slow pushing into the enemy. So someone has to catch this or he's going to crash the turret, take some turret damage, whatever. Fiora could be there, but she's clearing jungle, whatever. But you should be here. Again, you have TP. If you have TP, don't group mid sharing XP. This is how you fall behind. Look at your jungler. Look at your top. They're level 14 and 15. You are level 13 as Malz. You're lower level than Ashe. Why? Because you have been perma grouping, sharing XP for literally zero reason. What do they do? Look, let's just watch this a little bit. I haven't watched this. I just saw a little bit of what he did. Look at top. Look how much. Look at the wave kind of stacking up here. He should be here pushing this. And now look at this. Wow, now we see two people and Jay's bot. Imagine if you were top here. That would have been so free. Again, it's kind of... People are going to say, well, you don't really know where they are. But we know they aren't anywhere close. So even if you're here, you would be... Well, you would probably be catching to the wave right now. And you have a ward here. So you know no one is going to catch you. You know, no one is going to trap you or whatever. So you could be here pushing this wave in slowly if you want to. Till you see someone. And now when you do see three people, now you kind of hard shove this and kind of try to get this into the turret. And look where they're pathing. Massey is pathing top. Well, imagine if your team is groups mid now or group bot. You could get so much out of this. But look what they do instead. Well, they send Nasus top. We all know what happens when Nasus goes up, huh? If there's a fight. Oh no, there's a fight breaking out. Let him TP in. Oh, he doesn't have it. Who has it? This guy. So imagine if the roles were reversed. Look, Fiora does the correct thing here. She has Nash. She's pushing the wave. Nasus, I mean, I'm not sure if he was typing to Malzahar to go top and he didn't or whatever. But he goes top instead. Pretty much ruining the macro and... yeah, it again, stalling out. Do you guys remember when they took the inhib? 15 minutes. It's 24 minutes and they still haven't ended the game. Stalling out, letting them kind of scale back up. They got the free XP out of that. They really didn't lose anything. They lost a Nash, sure. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys liked this kind of explanation and a little bit of macro tips. I'm not sure if this, again, I hope you guys understood a little bit of my thought process and made this kind of into a quiz game. Hope you guys liked the video. I mean, I could do this, I could maybe do a video only having kind of quizzes and just, you know, scenarios where we could look into some scenarios and give some options and you guys could choose. It helps me a lot too, not gonna lie. Thinking about what could have gone wrong and what could have gone right, making some of the plays. Going mid here though, very poorly. He has TP. This guy, again, haven't really used his TP in most of his games efficiently. So if you watch his mob barley, hey, coaching $20 a game. Kidding, 20. I really don't have a price on my coaching, but I do have, you know, I do coaching sometimes. So if you guys want coaching, hey, hit me up. I'm not the best player maybe in the world, but I do have, I'd say, pretty good game knowledge. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was enjoyable. I mean, I liked it as much as I, you know, maybe I didn't show it, but I love these videos, kind of videos, man. I love watching macro guides and just sometimes be baffled about what people do. No flame though. I mean, again, he's probably trying to improve. He's trying to learn the game in his ways. But for someone who kind of sees things differently, it kind of, you know, it's kind of like sometimes I'm like, huh, what is he thinking here? Why would he do this? You know what I mean? Like, why would he TP to 2 minions or sometimes, you know? Because this guy did it sometimes. I swear to God, he TP'd to a lane catching 2 minions. I was like, why? You know, I was like surprised. I was like, why? You got 20 gold. Now you can't really do anything and there's nothing to pressure. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. And comment if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and tell me, do you guys want to see more of these kind of macro quiz games or whatever? I'm happy to do them, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.